Hi, I'm Scott Garibay. I'm an American student and a citizen of global politics and a man with a plan. The name of that plan is Afri51. So here's a summary of Africa 51, summarized Afri51. Problem number one, Africa is a wasteland where people routinely suffer calamities and persistent conditions unthinkable in any first world country. Problem number two, the United States of America is currently floundering, unable to excite and sustain growth. And three, there's a solution to both problems. America extends statehood to an African nation and militarily defends a willing African people's intent to accept American statehood as the 51st state. So Africa exists now as a sorrowful collection of nations where people regularly starve to death. They're hacked to death with ancient weapons and die of diseases with cures that are decades old. The majority of Africa's leaders have actively ensured that their people lack food, clean water, and the most basic of health care, literacy, and any moderate route to prosperity. Hundreds of aid organizations, large and small, have labored in Africa delivering varied amounts of limited temporary relief for Africans with no permanent solutions arising. America, on the other hand, has bountifully increased what is available to each of its citizens, supplying its people with clean food and water, protection, the world's most advanced health care, and literacy. Granted, the last few years have been challenging for the United States of America, but even in a downturn, the welfare of the average American citizen compares as prince to pauper against the welfare of the average African citizen. Africa needs a permanent solution for its people to the problem of disease, starvation, violence, and illiteracy. America needs a new frontier, an open area where rampant economic, technological, and social growth can explode across the large swaths of land as it did in the 17th, 18th, and 19th century. A simple and powerful solution exists to both problems, to deliver benefit to both Africa and America. America must extend the offer to any willing African nation to become the 51st American state. As Hawaii, Alaska, or Arizona were admitted to the Union, a nation of Africa, by their own choice, should be allowed to become the newest American state. The land of that African nation would become American soil, with every African in the nation would become a U.S. citizen immediately and permanently. Americans would be as free to travel to this new American state in Africa as they would be to travel from North Dakota to South Dakota. Africans within that new American state would be free to travel to America as if they chose, if they chose to stay. All privileges of to stay in America. All privileges of American citizenship, voting, constitutional, granted rights, Social Security, would be held by these African and then American citizens. Equally, all responsibilities of American citizenship, taxes, abiding by state and federal laws, jury duty, would be theirs in full. American businesses, small, medium, and large, would have unhindered access to establish shops and services across the new American state in Africa. There is a distinct possibility that extension of this unprecedented benefit to the first African nation willing to accept it would be a peaceful, smooth operation being taken cooperatively by both that African nation's leader and its people. This certainly is the outcome that peace-loving citizens of any nation will hope for. However, it is likely based on the attributes displayed by African leaders previously, avariceness, brutality, and xenophobia, that allowed the majority of the continent to descend into a medieval social and political state, that the acceptance of this benefit by an African nation's people will be opposed by their leader. Considering this, America's leaders and people must be prepared to extend full military support to the African people of the first nation that desires to accept American statehood, but is disallowed by a recalcitrant leader. So how can you help? This plan can be executed within within this year essentially by our U.S. president, right? With your help. And so please take any of the actions that I described now. Share this plan with any American or African citizen who you know desires to see their nation's progress past its current major problems. Contact your leaders and express your desire to see Afri51 executed as soon as possible. And then contact me, Scott Garibay, and let me know any ideas you have for efficiently executing this plan or any concerns you have over this plan being executed, as the voice of the people is truly invaluable. Thank you.